Hi everybody, it's Elaine, and I'm so excited to bring to you this unboxing of some of the new Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom figures. I went to see the movie on opening day. It's not as good as the first movie, but I really did enjoy it. I love that they kept the synth orchestrations where you feel like you're in a sci-fi film. I loved seeing all of his animal sidekicks because that's one of my favorite things of just silliness in both the cartoons and the comics. And yeah, it was pretty good considering how much studio interference and how many changes were made. So I enjoyed it. I think you should go see it. If nothing else, to say goodbye to the DC franchise the way it was, because they're killing that universe. Boo. But I did manage to scoop up a few of the figures. I'm not necessarily going to buy all of them because there's no Build-A-Figure to sort of incentivize me to do so. Although now that I've seen the Black Manta suit, I may have to sucker and do it. But I did get a few of the figures in, so let's take a look. We're going to start with the largest figure in the set. This is a Macfarlane ride vehicle. I got this for Christmas. This is Storm, Aquaman's trusty seahorse. You can see him here from the comics. Actually, this is an interesting drawing because it is specifically Jason Momoa on Storm, but in the style from the comic books. We're going to go ahead and unleash him from his prison. He's so large that he has to be segmented in the box just to fit him in there. I've always loved Storm ever since, I can remember back to when he's just a solid purple cartoon seahorse. And in the comics, he looks great. And in the movie, they really made him very majestic. He's got that beautiful iridescent colors. And yeah, we're going to check him out. Oh, he's taped. I will free you. Okay, so first we have the main body, which is like, look at my face. It's enormous. He has his armor bridle on. There is a nice loose reins piece. We have his saddle. I don't think we want to be able to remove it. It's softer, so it's definitely a separate piece, but I don't want to finick with trying to remove or replace it because I'm worried I'll break the straps. But he's really cool. He's got his back fins, all this detailing, all this texture, the spikes, the ridges, the individual scales, the color, the paint job, beautiful. Now he does have a second piece, of course, to add on his massive tail. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. It's just a peg and hole situation. Wow, he's so big. That's so cool. And then, of course, he does come with a stand because he has to be able to swim. So let me free that. It's glued to the bottom of the package. So let's see if I can get it loose. Already I'm impressed because the stand is metal instead of a plastic rod. So I think this is such a heavy figure. It needs that extra support. So we've got the base with the DC logo. We have a collector's data file card for Storm. Oh, I have a few of these put away from the last figures. And then this is a rod with a little ball peg to put him on. It does not telescope, so it's got one size. I'll try and get it in his... Wow. This is not going to be easy. I'm going to have to get some assistance. I'll be back. Help has been found. My wonderful hubby helper, Steve, definitely... We had to get a hammer and put this in. This is very difficult. So you're going to need a lot of strength or leverage to get this pin in. It's never coming out, guys. Once it's in, it's in. But when we put the pin in the base, we can see that he is very sturdily held up. He's not off balance. He's not going to fall over. And you actually can swivel him on the ball joint a little bit to show a different angle of him swimming, which is cool. So yeah. He looks great. We're going to grab an Arthur here in a minute to put on him and we'll see what he looks like. But yeah, so impressed. This was my #1 request from the figure series for this movie. gorgeous. All right, let's get Arthur. This is his stealth suit specifically, and while I don't care about the stealth suit on an action figure, I had to get it because it comes with Topo, his octopus friend. Well, he's not even his friend in the movie, but you know. Yeah, I love Topo. I wish Topo played the drums in the movie. All they do is kind of mention like, hey, he can also play musical instruments. I would have loved to have seen like a post credit with him playing the drums or something, but you know, here we are. So we'll start with the star of the figure set, which is Topo. Tactical something octopus, as they explain. So here he is, this little Topo. He's got all of his legs. He's got little eyes, all of his cephalopod breathing. And let's see, does he stand? He sure does. He stands on his tentacles, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and free Arthur. And I'll combine everybody together. These things are so hard to like remove. I don't want to damage any of my stuff. Come on. Go. Okay. Ooh, he's free. All right. So for the stealth suit, they actually went with a clear plastic for his legs, so you can see he's translucent. You can kind of see through him a little bit and the underside of his arms. And then working up to his torso, he's in like a blue thing. I like the texture of the suit. It's got little hexagon like sucker shapes all over it, which kind of means it has like octopus tech. And since he's traveling with Topo when using the stealth suit, I think that's appropriate. Now we could put Topo on his head. This is how I think Arthur was meant to look in general all the time. He looks better that way. But now let's put him on Storm for a comparison. He has all the basic articulation you'd expect from these figures from Macfarlane. He's got shoulders, elbows. The wrists turn, but they don't really like bend at all. You got some hip movement. The knees are rather tight. I think a little bit of workability will fix that. The ankles are real tight right now. And even the toes, for some reason, have their own articulation. I guess just for posing, so you can balance him. But let's go ahead and get him in a seated position. And yeah, so he can ride Storm with ease. Very cool. And then if Topo wants to hitch a ride, he can hop on too. He's wee. This is like the coolest, you guys. I love being able to display the figures with Storm. I have to find, there's no shelf space, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So cool. I did end up picking one additional figure up from the set so far, so I'm gonna show him to you. If you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want a slight spoiler, you know, turn off the video now because I'm gonna show you the villain of the movie. Oh yeah, there's also, I forgot, there's a base. There's a base for Aquaman and a collector's card. I'll get that out later. Not super important. Because why would you style him anywhere else? This is King Kordax. This visual form of him is in so little of the movie. It's kind of depressing because he's such a cool creature design. And unfortunately, we see very little of him, or what we do see is a little bit obfuscated by, like, magic clouds, I guess. So yeah, I had to get him because I really liked his spooky, creepy design. Just like the Trench Warrior, the Build-A-Figure from the last set was really cool. We got his collector's card. This time I remembered to take that out first. And his stand. Ah! It's on the floor. Let me free him. For some reason, he has even less bondage than Urza. I guess because he's big and bulky. Let's try and pop him. All right, now this guy's got a lot of detail, so we're coming in for the close. We can see his amazing, amazing headpiece. Look at all this evil coral filth. We've got this really nice, flexible, really cool cape, tattered and detailed and textured. I would expect no less from the Macfarlane line. He does have this really soft rubber outfit as well. He's got his rib cage. You can see his movement is a little more limited because of all the texture on him, but he does have articulation in all the basic joints. So very, very cool figure. Really detailed. Color scheme's a little bland, but that's what he is in the movie, so it makes sense. And then, of course, he comes with the black trident. Ooh, the black trident. So, gotta have the black trident accessory, which he can hold in his hand and rule over the Lost Kingdom. So, yeah. I'm pretty pleased with this set. I may go back and end up picking up the other two figures, which are Manta and Aquaman in the traditional gold suit, because the last set had him shirtless and not actually in his gold regalia. So we'll see. Thanks for joining me.